Hi, my name's David Byrne, and I have been given the keys to the candy store. This is a box of Jacati movies, but maybe we'll just let's talk about Playtime. He'd done these very successful comedies using, where he invented this character, Monsieur Hulot, played by him. A kind of very ordinary French man with a little hat and a pipe. It's really droll. There's no out-and-out jokes. Everything is, again, him observing the modern world. It's kind of somewhat inhumanity and ridiculousness. Anyway, great film. Next one. This is a film by a Georgian filmmaker. His name's Byrne, and it's called The Color of Pomegranates. It challenges your idea of what a film can be. Images and kind of ritual and processions and costumes and everything. Fairly surreal, but if you're okay just letting go and going with this thing and being kind of immersing yourself in another world, it's pretty good that way. This film is called Dead Man. It's by Jim Jarmusch. I think it might be my favorite Jim Jarmusch film. It reminds me in some ways of a Cormac McCarthy story, in that this guy goes on a journey. He encounters people. He runs into a Native American community in the Northwest. Oh, the score is by Neil Young. Apparently he did the score by going into a kind of score recording studio and just saying, play the movie and I'll just improvise. It's a period movie, black and white, but it has this very contemporary kind of rock guitar score. There's going to be more. This is one of the films by the great duo of filmmakers, Powell and Pressburger, the English. And this one was also known as Stairway to Heaven. And it's, again, fairly surreal, but as is their wont, it's also very sentimental. It's a World War II pilot whose plane gets shot down. Unlike the Albert Brooks movie, Defending Your Life, he says, these are extenuating circumstances. I've fallen in love. You have to let me live. I believe the earth is in color and heaven's in black and white. There's this giant stairway that they ascend to go to heaven. And you see when you get to heaven, there's all these historical people in historical costumes and whatever from all periods of history. And he kind of defends himself and kind of says, you have to let me do this, you have to let me do this. Fairly sentimental, but in a good way, in a way that you might not think that I would enjoy, but I love their films. This is a Hitchcock movie before he went to Hollywood, I believe. He did a lot of films in England. This one's called The 39 Steps. It's like some of his later ones, like North by Northwest and some of the others, where an ordinary person suddenly falls down a rabbit hole and they're wrapped up in this kind of conspiracy, and they don't know why, but they know they have this thing that they have to do, which leads him on a kind of chase throughout Britain, ends up, I think, in Scotland. As with a lot of his movies, the journey is what's enjoyable. And look, here in the candy store, I found a film that I made in the mid-'80s called True Stories. This is the star of the movie, John Goodman. Takes place in a small town in Texas, influenced probably by many of those other films I just talked about. But I'm going to put it back because I have this film. I have this copy of this at home. Thank you, Criterion.